Alright guys, welcome to Absurd Automotive. Today's kind of a sad day because the Mustang is possibly going away. So we have someone to come in and look at the Mustang today. I'm going to start working on our first snowmobile. Sorry. Oh, I got yelled at by my Alaskan buddies. Snow machine. It's not a snowmobile, it's a snow machine. But Mustang is for sale. It's on Marketplace up here in Alaska. It is the only running and driving 68 Mustang for sale in Alaska. That's crazy. But it's not the greatest. Like you said, you guys saw me with the roof. You guys saw me with the interior. It's really cool. It's really unique. I have a lot of original parts for it. I have almost every original part other than the interior and the AC unit. So I'm really not wanting to let this car go, but it's time. It's time to let the car go. I've only had it for a few months, but I've got to do some really cool stuff with it. I got to do North Pole Speedway. I've got to do the drag racing. I got to enjoy with my little sibling, Isabel. I got to do a ton of cool stuff with the car, and I have discovered I love classic cars, but trying to drive them, okay, the custom built things, I love those. I love the resto mods. Those things that get decent fuel mileage. Like, you know, I could handle probably 15, 18 miles to the gallon on a car. I could probably handle that. But this thing gets like 8 miles to the gallon, 5 when I'm beating on it. And I beat on it every time I'm in the car, you know, foot to the floor. I'm having the best time of my life. I can't afford to keep driving this car so much. So we're selling it. And if I ever get a Mustang again, which is it's one of my favorite platform of cars, so I'm sure Mustangs will pop up here and again. I definitely want to do something modern in the car. Like, I want to buy some trashed out unibody Mustang, and I want to put either a 5.0 or something in there a little newer. That way I get a little bit better fuel mileage. And maybe we'll do a little crazy stuff with it. Who knows? But with all of that, we are again going to sell the Mustang. We've got the snowmobile we got to work on. And the reason I'm selling the car is because we're moving. Obviously, that's what I said last video. We're moving. So trying to move with all this stuff doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, the guy seems somewhat interested in the Mustang, but it is still here with me. He wants to think on it. So I've got other offers. Other people will probably come and look at the car over the weekend here, and we'll kind of see how everything goes. But my other buddy's coming over here now, so we're going to get prepped and get some stuff cleaned up because the shop is a mess, again, as always. Because, I mean, I have 1,000 projects going at once, and it's just how it goes. So we're going to get that thing out and see if we can get it running and kind of check it over and see if this thing is destroyed, because I can pull it over and it sounds like it's got some potential to run. So we're going to kind of pull it apart and hopefully this thing will run. First attempt of starting the John Deere snowmobile. Just want to sit. A little bit of gas. There, go ahead. Ready? Yep. Try it. Yeah, spark, so I'm guessing. shot. We got Vic over here, he's gonna operate. So I don't know which way's, I don't know what that is. I know this is the choke, I just don't know which way it's up now, so keep it there, I guess. Spray directly, throttle. Tell me when. Alright, so we're gonna hook this thing up. We're gonna run the starter for a little bit to see if the magneto's working. I highly doubt it, because it was pretty dirty, but cleaning points has started many things before. Alright, ready? Just play with it like back and forth, like when you're spraying in it, keep it wide open and then kind of play with it back and forth. Keep it shut, keep it open. When you're kind of playing with it, I'm just running the starter until I feel comfortable. Ready? Nothing. Magneto's shot. That's what it is. Yeah. It's dirty. It's not good. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. You have a great day. So we played with it. Got it kind of turned over and whatnot. It's the magneto. It's no good. I can't find anything on Marketplace, but on eBay or anything that's really suitable for replacement. The other snowmobile that I was going to steal a motor for is no longer available. So I think we're just going to get rid of it. My buddies in 907 Diesel have the sleds, so they're offering to take me out. I'm not gonna mess with this stuff. I gotta move, and I got so much stuff to do, like the truck, the trailer. So I think we're just gonna call it quits, put it all back together, and list it on Marketplace. So if you want this classic snow machine, look on Facebook Marketplace and buy it, because I don't want it. So since we're kind of giving up on that, end of that part of the video, but now we get to talk about all the other stuff that I have to fix. Like I said last video, I'm gonna be talking about all the stuff that I have to fix, and I guess what I shouldn't do, really. So the big thing is gonna be the truck. What do I do with it? Because it has a blown head gasket right now. We could just put a head gasket in it and call it a day and do new head studs, or head bolts, sorry, head bolts. But some people are saying we should do head studs, some people are saying we should do this and do that, and you know, get the head resurfaced at a shop and everything, but I'm kind of limited on time here. Now I could tear the head off, leave this in the garage, and take up my whole garage all winter long while someone gets the head all done. I don't really want to do that though. So what we're probably gonna do, as long as the head is not visibly cracked, anything's not visibly broken, we'll tear everything down. We will probably put maybe some head studs in it and all the new gaskets. So new valve gaskets, new exhaust gaskets, new head gasket, you know, just going through all that stuff. It's pretty good other than that. You know, the head gasket blowing was not ideal, but it's only got 50 over injectors in it, so it shouldn't have blown them, and I'm kind of concerned that something else is wrong, so we'll kind of see. I'm going to tear it down first, and then I'll order my parts based on how bad it is, because if it is, like, the head's blown, I'm going to need a new motor. I'm going to need a new head. I'm going to need something to get me out of this state. So that's going to be, or I'm going to have to just push it onto the trailer and tow it out here behind the RV without it running or driving, and I don't know. We'll kind of see how all that goes, but yeah, it's a huge kind of, not decision, but people are talking about doing valve springs, people are talking about doing the head studs, people are talking about doing a couple different things while I'm already here, and it's very, very expensive. I mean, the cost in that is going to be, I mean, the cost for the gasket kit's like a couple $100, which isn't bad. Head bolts are probably going to be a few, you know, bucks. That's not going to be terrible. But the expensive part is going to be upgrading it, you know, doing valve springs, doing head studs, doing all that stuff. That's going to be expensive. I've heard, because you have to do a bunch of stuff, and rockers, whatever else. I mean, there's a lot you got to do for that. So that's a huge project of mine, is getting that all fixed. It's not the end of the world that it broke. It's really not. It should only take me a few weeks to get parts in for and then fix. And if I wasn't living in Alaska, it would take me, you know, hopefully a week. But since I live in Alaska, a lot of stuff takes a long time to get up here. So we're gonna figure that out. The trailer. I could slap some yin yang tires on there or something and move that thing around, but I'm probably going to keep that trailer because it was my dad's and it's been around for a long time. And, you know, I'm kind of jumping between being nostalgic and just getting rid of the stuff that isn't really working for me properly, or fixing it all the way and making sure it works for me properly. Because like the truck, I'm super nostalgic about it, but I'm being offered money for it. So do I let it go? Do I not let it go? The trailer, same thing. Do I just throw some yin yangs on it and give it away? Not give it away, but sell it, you know? Or do I put brand new brakes all the way around, because that's what it needs. I mean, those brakes are trashed. They've been the same brakes since 2007. Now, something broke off inside of one of them, and I can hear it rolling around in there. The tire's locking up, and I think that's probably what happened. If I'm being completely honest, it probably locked that tire up, and it probably blew. That's probably what happened. So, yeah. It's okay, though. It's not the end of the world. So we're going to have to tear that thing down and fix it. And then also the winch. I didn't even talk about that, but that's another huge cost of the trailer is the winch. What's the point of having a car trailer if you don't have a winch on it? And the winch that I sent off to get fixed literally got torn down into pieces and then dropped off with me. It took him a whole year to tear it down and then hold it and try and find parts for it. I'm not blaming him for anything really, but it was a side project, you know, but it was a year. Like, if you couldn't find the parts, you should have let me know, and it was really hard to get the guy to communicate, so I'm not going to trash him by name or anything. And he didn't charge me anything. I respect it. I'm not going to, you know, crash out over this, but I built two full vehicles by the time he get me my winch back. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Redonkulous. Now, I haven't messed with it yet, but I'm probably gonna just put a new winch on it. I don't think this is gonna be salvageable just because I don't know if all the parts are even there. I don't know. So the winch is probably gonna be trashed. We'll have to get a new winch on there. You know, this is gonna be probably $2,000 to $3,000 in, probably even more if I'm really upgrading the truck. This is gonna be a couple grand to fix all my stuff. So like fixing this thing doesn't make a lot of sense. I just get my money out of it now and focus on the good equipment to get myself across the country, or, you know, even down south if I stay in Alaska or whatever happens. You know, there's a lot of opportunities all over the place. Getting out of the military is very stressful, as I was saying earlier. I don't know where I'm going yet. I got some offers down in Palmer and Wasilla, Alaska. I've got some on the East Coast, some in the Midwest, some down south. It's just, I was born and raised Buffalo, New York, Western New York area. So that's kind of like home. It was home before I left. But we fell in love with South Dakota when we lived there for a little bit. At least me and my family did. And like Rapid City area. But we're totally strung out, which where do we want to go? What do we want to do? You know, can we afford houses in these areas? It's a lot. It's just stressing me out, and I got to travel to go look at houses. I got to pay the realtor. I got to do a lot of stuff. So like I said, it's stressful, and it was like I got YouTube money. I got this is all coming out of my personal money. Like the cars being built, the truck being built, all this stuff has come out of my job money and my family's money. So it's kind of going hand in hand here, and I wish, you know, the business was completely and totally separate, and, you know, it actually sustained itself and all that, but it doesn't. I do everything myself. I've done everything myself. The only thing I haven't done myself is the paint and the electrical on the truck. Well, if you want to count the seats being redone too. The seats, the electrical, and the paint. But that's about it. Everything else I've done. The Mustang I did completely by myself. I didn't have anybody, and I learned a lot from Ryan at Second Skins with the truck, and I did that, and it looks really good for how cheap I did it my first year paint job, all that stuff. But yeah, all right. Well, I've rambled on forever. But yeah, you guys get the idea here. There's a lot going on. I'm sorry, content's not going to be as consistent anymore. I'll kind of post when I have videos, and that'll be that. So I hope you guys enjoy. I will see you guys when I see you. All right.